There are few things in life that do not change. Here are some things that I think will never change when it comes to financial independence and early retirement. Make sure that you don't forget about these. Hello everyone, my name is Zach and welcome to On Cash Flow, where I help you become a master of your own cash flow. Now let's get started. The very first financial independence principle that I think will never change is to spend less than what you make. As they like to say, make sure that you live below your means. The reason why I think this will never change is because it is simple math. And simple math is just a fact of life. Simple math says that if you spend more than what you make, or you spend all of what you make, you will never be able to accumulate assets. You will never be able to accumulate wealth. And therefore, you must first start by spending less than what you make, no matter how much you make, whether you make $1 million a year, $100,000 a year, $50,000 a year, or less. It doesn't really matter if you're spending all or more than what you actually make. You must spend less than what you make because you're going to need a surplus in order to invest and grow your wealth. Principle number 2 of financial independence that will never change: the sooner you start, the better. Time is on your side when you are young. The younger you are, the more time that you have to let your investments grow through compounding. Compound growth and compound interest will remain relevant forever because, again, that is also a mathematical fact, right? The more time that compound interest and compound growth has in order to work, the more powerful it's going to be. So therefore, the younger you start, the better when it comes to building wealth. And here's a nice saying that goes along with that: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So no matter what age you are now, right now is the best time to work on achieving financial independence. Now, really quick, before we get on to number 3, I just want to say that this video was actually inspired by another YouTuber's video that was kind of similar to this and inspired me to make this video. But more on that later. Let's get on to financial independence principle number 3, and that is to control what you can control. This will remain relevant forever because most things in your own life are beyond your realm of control. You can't control most external things within your life. There are a few things that you can control, and that is what you should be focusing on, especially when you're trying to achieve a better life. Some of the big things that we worry about on a daily basis are things that are completely not within our control, such as the past, or news, politics, world events, the stock market, etc. So these major things are something that we pretty much have no control over, and we might not even be able to affect it in the slightest. So the principle goes that you shouldn't be worrying too much about those things if you can't actually affect them. There are some things in your life when it comes to creating a better life for yourself that you can control. For example, you can control what you do in your free time, right? In that limited amount of free time that you do have, for the most part, you can control what you choose to fill that time with. Another thing that you can control is your mindset, how you are going to react to those events that are not within your control, right? You get to choose how you are going to react. You get to choose how that stuff is going to affect you if you realize that you cannot affect it, and therefore you get to choose how it is going to affect you. You also get to choose how you treat others, no matter how they treat you. If someone treats you badly, you can choose not to treat them badly back. And that goes for any other kind of interaction. You get to choose how you treat others. There seems to be many small things within our lives that we actually do have control over. And we can choose how we live our lives when it comes to things that are within our realm of control. So do not forget, this will always stay relevant. Control what you can control. Next up at number 4, this is very relevant when it comes to financial independence and early retirement. That is to retire to something, not from something. I think this is always going to be relevant as long as we have a concept of retirement. This is something that we need to focus on in our own lives when it comes to retirement. Retire to something, not from something. Because the primary reason behind this is that if you are just trying to leave a job that you don't like, if you're just trying to leave work just because you don't like that line of work or whatever you're trying to do, if you're just trying to retire from something, trying to leave something, and you expect that once you do that and you just go to this new life of retirement and you're magically going to be happy, then you're going to be in for an unfortunate surprise because that is not going to make you happy automatically. Retiring from something is not going to automatically make your life better, unfortunately. Instead, what you need to do is you need to retire to something that you have in mind, something that you have a passion for, something that you can make a difference in, whether that be hobbies, whether that be achieving goals, whether that be a new kind of career, or whatever suits you best. What you should probably be doing is thinking about these things today in your current life. Try implementing some of these things. Try out some hobbies. Try achieving some goals that you have for yourself. Try doing something that is outside of work, outside of your normal life that you think you could retire to. This will always remain relevant. So I'll ask you again, what are you going to do with your time? Are you going to retire to something. Now, really quick, I want to take a break from this list and just let you know that I put a lot of heart into this video. And I would really appreciate it if you are appreciating this video so far, if you took a quick second and hit the like button on this video, because it really does help me out. Thank you. You need to be flexible. And no, I'm not talking about flexibility when it comes to exercise. What I mean is you need to be flexible with your life, especially if you plan on achieving financial independence, or especially if you plan on retiring or retiring early. The world changes around us every single day. Change is constant, and we need to keep up with it. And I'm not just talking about staying on top of trends. No, I mean something that is much deeper than this. The world is changing right now as you watch this video, and it always will be. To be honest, your original financial independence plan or your original retirement plan, it's not going to be relevant 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. There's going to be a lot of change from now until then. And I can almost guarantee you that things are not going to go according to plan, whether that be in a positive light or a negative light. Things will change and you will have to adapt to them. That is why you need to remain flexible. As the saying goes, there is nothing permanent except change. One that strikes very near and dear to my heart, and this is something that will never change. Health is wealth. If I were a billionaire, but I had bad health, you can bet that I would trade every single dollar that I had in order to be young and in good health. That's because health is wealth. Health is much more important than arbitrary numbers on a spreadsheet or arbitrary numbers in your bank account. And I would be willing to bet that you watching this video would make that trade as well. Because even though it might not seem like it on the surface, we definitely value our health more than we value our wealth. And if you don't, it may be time to take a strong look at your life and make some changes. And when I say health, I don't just mean physical health. Physical health is definitely extremely important, and you should be taking care of your body in that way through the foods that you eat and the exercise that you perform, but also mental health as well. And the reason I mention that is because all of this talk about financial independence, wealth building, and retirement, it can actually mess with your psyche a lot, especially when you're comparing yourself to others, especially when you're looking at your investments and your net worth and volatility and all these kinds of events that go into that. It can be very stressful. However, at the end of the day, you shouldn't let savings, you shouldn't let your wealth get in the way of you maintaining and improving your health. Remember this forever. Health is wealth. Now, I've got one more good principle for you, but before we move on to that, I want to know from you in the comments below. What is another principle when it comes to financial independence, early retirement, or just regular retirement that you think can be added to this list? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you have to say. And now getting on to the last one that I have for you, number 7, never stop improving. Financial independence is so much more than about wealth accumulation. It's about so much more than money. It's about overall improvement of your life and making your life and your family's life better. Yeah, sure, money and investing and wealth is probably the thing that we do talk about a lot when it comes to financial independence, when it comes to retirement, but it honestly is just a small fraction of what it takes in order to complete your journey, because there are so many other much more important aspects of your life when it comes to holistically looking at improving your life. That's why I think it's very important to never stop improving and to always be looking to make small improvements in your life over time. And I'm not just talking about career, I'm not talking about increasing your earnings or increasing your wealth. You can improve your life in so many different ways than just the monetary. Never stop improving your life when it comes to your health, your family, your friends, your hobbies, and any other important thing that's in your life. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this video was actually inspired by another video from another YouTuber known as Mr. Rob Berger. Okay, so he made a video about 7 investing principles that are timeless, that are pretty much never going to go away. And his video inspired me to make this video about financial independence principles that are timeless and are never going away. Now, if you want to watch his video next, I'm going to put it in a link in the description below, and I'm going to put it in the pinned comment as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Zach from OnCashflow.com, and I hope to see you next time. You'll never look any other kind of interaction. And no, I'm not talking about flexibility in the name of, then, what's that word?